Hi, and welcome to another edition of me sharing things as I learn. This is the first one in this series where I'll be sharing my journey through the New York public school system. So, welcome. Maybe you're just listening to the audio or you are watching the video with B-roll. Whichever way, I'd like to welcome you into my space and into this journey with me. I am Faith Ford. I'm a master's student and a medical doctor here in New York City, originally from Guyana. I'm now a mom, a single one at that. So I take you along the journey of me being a mom. This is my first child and maybe the youngest child in my family for many years. So getting advice from my other relatives on this particular topic is so far from what they experience. And in addition to this being post-COVID season. So yeah, I'm taking a journey and I'm so happy that you have opted to take the journey with me too. So in today's episode, I will share with you my guidelines or my checklist, my criteria for picking a 3K school. My child was born in 2020. This is now January 2023. And in New York City, New York, you get to start school with optional 3K in the year that you turn 3. So she turns 3 in September and she gets to start school this year. So here we go. I'll share with you 5 things, my 5 main things I'm checking for as I check the schools that I want to get her in. I'll explain to you why those are my 5 top options, and I'll close by telling you what is my next step in this journey. So let's get into it. First of all, I'm looking for the general overview of the school, about the location, not just like physical address, but what is next to, the cleanliness of the space, the teachers, and fellow parents. So via reviews. So for this first one, it's like a general overview. What people said about the school, how old or new the program is, what they're doing about COVID, everything I could find out about the program online or through open houses. Just a general overview of the school if it's something I'd mesh with. So just a general idea is my first stop. Well, I should say that this is in no particular order. These are just 5 things that I'm looking out for. The second one is location. It's important that I find a place close to where I live. I now live in Manhattan and it's fairly easy to get to places. There are buses and trains, but I prefer somewhere I could walk. I'll be at home while she starts school, so if it's something I can just run out, drop her to school, and run back home, that'll be fine. The option of taking a bus to take her to school, I don't like that. Like I feel as though she's gonna be old sometime soon, and she's gonna have to take the train and bus for work for the rest of her life if she doesn't drive, if she stays in New York. So like, now that she's just a baby, like she should not have to deal with all that drama. Even when I take her out, I'm like, can we find another way? I love the trains, but like having to maneuver with the child, maybe a stroller, it's not something I'd sign up for. So now that I get to pick a school on my own, I'm not trying to take public transportation with her. We'll use that for when we're taking our adventure trips. So in terms of location, I'm looking for somewhere about 50 minutes walk because I need to consider when it's cold and when it's snowing, and I have to push her there and I have to walk back home. So that's 30 minutes walking. Yeah, so something that's 50 minutes away, that's probably half a mile from home. No bus or train needed. I mean, we could take one, but it's not necessary to get there. Also, by being close to our location, if it's a day when it's necessary that I have to get there using transportation, I could take an Uber and it wouldn't be $1 billion. I could take an Uber 2 blocks and around the corner, you know, if I need to drop something off that's big or heavy and I have to take her. Like, I'm not trying to pay $50 and $40 for the Uber just to take her to school with a tray of something. So if it's nearby, I'd love that. So location is something I am definitely looking into. The next thing I'm looking for, which is the third one, is their playground situation. I love the interaction, and her being a pandemic baby, as we were gonna say, it's so necessary that she finds time to play and interact. Yeah, she's gonna play in school, but having an outdoor playground, or not necessarily outdoor, I prefer it be a outdoor playground in the schoolyard. My second wish would be a playground in the school, and then the third is a public park playground. So I'm open to them all, but just having to leave the school compound to walk, like, I trust my teachers are gonna get my child there and safely and back. But like, is it necessary? Like, if I could do without her or everyone having to leave the compound to play to go back, I love that. She definitely needs to get the exercise in, get that play side in, and not necessarily come home tired, but like, she needs to burn some of the energy. I find that when we're at home, she does well when I take her out to the park. So having that in school and access to it, so on cold days in the schoolyard, they still have access to it. Inside, they still have access to it, but I'd wish it'd be outside so she could also get some fresh air with it. Like, fall, get a little bruise rather than being on like play mats. So I'd love for it to be outside, but in the schoolyard. The fourth thing I'm looking for is meals. I think all 3K schools provide a meal, but I'd love that to be there. I feel as though I prepare meals some days, but if it's a day when I am just struggling to wake up and get her out, I just need to know that this is something I don't necessarily have to do. Like, the option that she could get 2 meals at school, I'd definitely appreciate that. Also, I've noticed that these school meals are so lovely. It's so organized. I will admit I have stolen a few. Well, I visited lots of schools and they'd have their meal of the week, their meal plan for the week posted, and I definitely take a picture of it and go home and be like, okay, this is what you're supposed to be eating today. So, and I try to follow it at home. It makes it so much easier. So having that in school, I know she's eating healthily, and it just takes a task away from me if I need a task away from me. A third thing I love, fifth thing I love for my school to provide is other extracurricular activities aside from play. Like, do they offer another language? Do they offer an instrument or a specialized sport? But a sport like gymnastics, like soccer, something that she dance, swimming, another thing that we could be active in and practice to develop as a skill. I know that children don't quite learn maybe right now, and it'll just be excitement, but I'd love for her to start getting into something else that we could, like, I could start seeing things that she likes, and something for me to consider when she's a bit older and I want to put her into a sport. For instance, if she starts with dance, I could just see she could just practice, like, listening to instructions from someone else aside from me. I think it goes, like, beyond the skill that you're building, but just like learning from someone else, aside from her teachers that she'll see every day, aside from her parents that she'll see, well, her mom that she'll see every day, and you get like another authoritative figure come in and you can listen to that person too. I think that will help to some extent. And that, guys, is 5 things that I'm definitely going to consider when I pick a school. Just to recap, I'm looking for the general overview of the school, like what people say, what's security like, how clean it is, the location, how near to my home it is, playgrounds, whether it's inside, outside, or at a public park, meals, whether they provide like a full meal for her, and extracurricular activities, if it's a dual language, if they do sports, dance, anything aside from teaching the ABCs. I love that. Thank you very much for sticking around for the last 10 or so minutes listening to me. I'll definitely follow up. I can tell you more about other things that you can consider that's not at the top of my list, and I will be doing tours with my top schools. I can definitely take you along for that and tell you what I learned. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will be happy to see how I could try to get them answered while I go ahead and do it for me. Thank you. Until next time. Bye.